What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're gonna do some testing on Resident Evil 2 Remake with some older graphics cards. So the good news is Resident Evil 2 Remake does support the older graphics cards. Even though it's a new title, you could go back as far as one of the first DirectX 11 graphics cards, which was the 400 series or 500 series. In this video we're going to be testing out the GTX 550 Ti 1GB, and the good news is you could play this game on 1080p, not with high frame rates or anything, but it is still playable. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos on Resident Evil 2 benchmarks. So let's begin. So I'm going to be using the same platform from all the videos on testing the Resident Evil 2, which consists of an i5-8400, which is a 6-core processor up to 4.0 turbo, but I was never able to hit the 4.0. As you could see, it maxes out at 3.8 gigs. Also, we're going to be using today a GTX 550 Ti. It's slightly overclocked, 100 megahertz on the core and 200 megahertz on the memory clock. And right now we're on the bare minimum settings on 1080p. I am going to be only testing out the 1080p resolution. Anything less than that, I feel it's not worth it and it looks really bad. So here it is. As you could see, we're on 1080p and interlaced. Very important. When these low-end graphics cards that are barely hitting 30 FPS, you're gonna have to use interlace and have every setting pretty much turned off completely or low. And you see, even with that, we already exceed the amount of the VRAM available, which is just under 1 gig. But in my opinion, it's still playable. It doesn't look too good. As you could see, it's very choppy, but as far as gameplay, it's not bad at all. And you could pick up this card nowadays on eBay probably for like 20 bucks, or maybe on local Craigslist for like 15 or so. Like I said, as you can see, it's quite playable. When you're inside the hallways, the frame rates are pretty decent, but when you get into the middle of the police station, it does drop down to low 20s.
Does anyone know what started this?
Yeah, as you can see, you're in low 20s, but it is still playable. That's, I guess, because of the restriction of the 1 VRAM, 1 gigabyte of VRAM. And we could go up on the settings a little bit higher. I'm going to show you right now once we get into a more closer area.
Not how I imagined the first day.
In my opinion, they should do all this for all the new games that you'll be able to play with the older graphics cards. I'm sure you guys are aware some of the newer games, even from last year, are no longer supported by the older generation cards, but this one is fully supported. Okay, let's play around a little bit with some settings, see what we could do. Get a little bit better graphics. I'll start from the bottom up. Okay, so now with the settings, with these settings it looks more smoother, and when you're in a more closed space the frame rates are decent and it's still playable. But if we would go back out to the police station entrance with open space, it would drop down to teens, and you know, it would be barely playable. So that's something to think about. But if you do have everything on bare minimum, it is quite playable. Well, there you have it, guys. If you were wondering that if you were able to play this game with such an old card, yes, you can. and I'm very happy to let you guys know that it seems like this game will support any DirectX 11 card going back like 8-9 years ago, with some, you know, fairly decent frame rates. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this part. Just if you have any questions or any comments, please leave them down below, and stay tuned for my next video, which I'll be probably testing out an old GTX 450 to see if it's even possible to play this game, which is a notch lower performance than this card. So let's see what happens next. And thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and help me reach 1,000 subscribers. Thank you.